So welcome to our Sunday Shining number 63. Wherever you are in this world, which doesn't really matter, let's see what is to be. It's I have a couple of things I'd like to share today. And first of all, I want to thank you for being there and just express my deep gratitude. Having this channel and being with you in this way, connecting with you in this way, I feel is so wonderful. And I just love this so much. I love it so much. And one of the things I really love is I've mentioned before, is how I feel I can share really quite personal things with you. And it's not so much so that you get to know me in every detail, but it's because it's because I have to cough. It's because in my life and in the way that we humans have been on this planet for so long, I mean, ever since I was little, I felt how we humans are so encapsulated. We're so afraid of being ourselves around each other. And this is really what I've been talking about, really, in most videos, that we are this false self. But it's also this, is this really this lack of nearness, which is amongst us humans. There's like this huge barrier, and you only share some things about your life, and you have this facade, and it creates such distance between humans. And it's so sad, because really the loveliness of who you are is all your pain too. And the fact that you dare to say, I think this is really difficult. This has really been hard for me, and this is really hard for me, is very beautiful. Although it's something that is not really really fun or maybe very sad. I think the blossoming human is the human who dares to share what hurts and what's difficult. And that way, when one opens up and says, this is how I feel, others dare to open up, and we get to live in this new way where you dare to be you. And you realize, really what you realize is that the way you were before was so strenuous to go around doing this act. and really what it is that having this nearness, I mean, being much more visible, or opening up to who you really are, it starts with you, with yourself. So people who do not dare to open up their hearts and say, this is how I feel, this is who I am, they don't dare to do it with themselves. And of course they can't do it with others, because they don't even dare to do it with themselves. So the more I can encourage with these videos you to dare to, and to really flick the switch in your mind and realize that the loveliness of who you are is the true you. There's nothing more beautiful. And when you dare to share this with yourself, to just create a life where there's time for you to sit or lie or whatever you need to do, to be in stillness and to just allow yourself to let these things surface, to allow yourself to feel how you feel. Although the logical mindset that says that that's stupid. And how just realizing how liberating this is and how wonderful this is, and really how you are a new self. You become your true self, which there's nothing more beautiful. And now you dare to be like that around others, because you figure out the other way of being was just so strenuous. And we open up, we become open-hearted humans. And it's just, I mean, it really is, it's love versus not love. It's being a loving human, is to be, just open up your heart. So I love how these videos, I feel, there's this authenticity and this connectedness. So I don't share every single detail of my life, which I feel that's okay, because it's not really, it's really finding this balance. But being as as authentic and honest as I can with these films, I think is so wonderful. So what I used to miss in life, and sometimes still do in interacting with other humans, this nearness, I can provide that in these videos, and hopefully teach you or show you how wonderful it is to be like that. So, and what I also love is how you really are sending back your openness, and also your gratitude, which is really showing me that this is the right thing I'm doing. But it's wonderful to feel your love, but also that you share how you feel. Share the loveliness of who you are, no matter how painful that is. So the world is changing, and we are changing, and the world is changing because we are changing. And yeah, so there's a couple of things talking about family, really, and letting go. Yeah, we'll go into that today. Let's have some tea. So it's wonderful to see on the internet how these young Indian men are actually coming to the forefront and teaching other young people how to stand in their truth and how to create a wonderful life. So they're, in a way, they're the new spiritual masters of our time, in a way. They also have their ego and things to break out of, but it's very wonderful to see how it's becoming popular, and that there are young people who are taking on this job of helping us understand that we are creating our lives, and the more successful, or the more things are flowing and we feel great and things feel good, that's because we're we're creating that. And everything that's difficult and burdensome and heavy is really something we're creating too, all with our mind. So one of the I can put a link to this one young man who I felt was very, very helpful for me the other day. And it's all about neediness and about letting go of people in our lives. And what he says is that whatever you're clinging to and you feel neediness towards, the universe has no other choice than to take it away from you. Because what you're doing is you're trying to pull it towards you. You want it. Like a girlfriend, a boyfriend, somebody you want, somebody you've fallen in love with. You want them and you can't have them, and you want them, and you become needy, and you start like put out your fishing rod and you're trying to pull them towards you. You become this needy person who wants this desperately. It could also be some of our children, which is in my case the children I'm not in contact with. I wish to have this contact, and what he says is that really that's when you do that, you have a neediness towards someone. The universe will pull it away from you, because that neediness, that pulling towards you, the universe will mirror, and it will pull it away from you. And it really, really clicked for me, because of course he explained, if you want something, if you want that beautiful girlfriend, or a beautiful girlfriend, because it's important not to be fixated on one person, you have to let them go. And you have to stand in your fullness and your freedom and the loveliness, the goodness of who you are, and enjoy your life. And you could send out a wish that you wish to have this a person in your life with these different qualities, but you have to let it go. And that way, when you let go, you're not holding on to anything, and the universe will not pull it away from you. The universe will provide it, because you have already actually manifested that this is true for you. Having this partner in your life that has these different qualities is a natural thing for you, and you relax. You're not needy for it. You believe that it will come when it's natural. It will come because you know it's there. It's in a way, you're living as though you already had it. And that is so fascinating. And I know it, and I've been reminded of it for, decades. But as I've said before, we need to have these things again and again and again and again. I'll just turn on the heater because it's a little bit cool. So this is so fascinating, and as I was saying last time, that we can go into all these different, and that's really what we're being asked to do, go into every little tiny little corner of your consciousness, of your life, of your being. And there are many, hundreds, maybe thousands of different tiny little areas in your life, and some of course are bigger than others, because where we have our major learning lessons in life, of course they will be the most important. And for me, and I've been told that by clairvoyant people in different sessions many times, that my relationships are the big trainers for me in my life. It's my relationships with my family mainly. And so this young man got me to go into this corner of my life where this whole thing about estranged children who choose to not be with you, and realizing how needy how I feel I have let my children, the children who don't wish to have any contact with me, I've let them go, but only reluctantly. And what I felt God saying very clearly to me, I want you to let them go with the deepest joy you can find. Complete and utter joy. Because letting go of someone saying, okay, okay, I'll let them go. I've let them go now. But in your heart actually needing and wishing and wanting and dying for them to come back. That's not letting go. That's not letting go. That is holding, and they call them cords also, having a cord you have these long cords towards people that you've let them go, you feel you've let them go. Okay, you be on your way, but really in your heart you have not let them go. You're still waiting for them to come back. And the children or whoever that is in your life, it could be an ex-husband or wife or whatever, anything, anyone. When you do not truly let them go 100%, they will feel this and they will be pulled away from you. So that is exactly the way to keep them away from you. So when God asked me, can you do this with complete and utter joy? Can you let these people go with the deepest joy there is? That was very, very difficult to imagine. How could I do that? You can't do that. But of course you can. And when I get to realize that it is actually by letting them go on every level of my being with the deepest joy in my heart, that the chances that one day we will be reunited in this lifetime, there is a chance. It might not happen. But the chance of it happening when I have these cords and this neediness and this hope is very, very, very little. So I found I found this little exercise where I imagined, as you know how you can use these inner, you do this inner work, and by visualizing something it really becomes manifested. So I saw this ship on the sea, and I put every one of my children who doesn't want contact with me up onto the ship, and or let them go on there. And also I just took all the other people who I have difficult relationships with, and they all went up onto the ship. And the funny thing was that I can still see them. It's a little practice I'm doing. I can see them waving, and they're so joyful because finally I'm letting them go. And in the beginning I had this idea that I was going to send them off to the happy island, but I thought I'm going to manipulate them because they might wish to have a very unhappy life. So I'm not going to send them off to some happy island, because that's just manipulating them. I'm just going to set them free. I'm going to also apologize that I've been holding on with this neediness, and just truly, truly feel the joy of letting them go. It was so powerful to see how joyful they were, that finally Mum is letting us go. Finally, she's really, really setting us free. To just be who we are, to do what's right for us. And she's not waiting anymore. And she's joyful. There's no cords. There's no waiting. There's no hoping. It's all gone. And it was triggered. I really had to, I could feel the sadness, and so that all those cords were there, realizing that I have to break those cords. I don't want to be a needy person. I don't want to be a person waiting for something to happen, which isn't going to happen, because it won't happen. And I want people around me in my life, no matter how difficult our relationship has been, to truly feel on a deep level that I set them completely free with joy. I don't do it reluctantly. Okay, okay, I'll let you go then. No. I say, you go on your way and you live in freedom, my dear. You feel all the freedom, and I give you all the freedom. I don't take any freedom away from you by holding on to you. So this was so profound for me, and very revealing. I didn't realize I had these cords, but I did. So and we don't do this in one day or a weekend workshop. It's not. It has to be over some days, maybe weeks. But every time I do it, it's easier. and I feel the joy. And it was so true, how God, it was the right way of putting the words together. How God said, I want you to do this in complete joy. You have to feel joy in every part of your being as you let go. It has to be a joyful experience to let go, because then there is no neediness anymore. And the thing is, when we hold on to people like I have been doing, we hold them down. We have these cords, we have this fishing rod stuck to them, and they are energetically bound to that. I mean, unless they can, of course they can break free of that, but it's definitely not helping them on their path. But the thing is, we're not only doing it to them, we're also doing it to ourselves. We are holding ourselves down by holding on to other people energetically. Very unhealthy. So for me, my dream is that I'm a deeply joyful person, enjoying my life, and that I am connected to beings around me who are deeply loving and joyful, and they might have problems, but they're not demanding, and they take responsibility for their lives, and they share their joy and love. That's my wish for myself. And for that to happen, I have to release everyone from my life. And I have to actually live in the energy that is my reality now. I live a life that I feel is truly satisfying and joy-filled. I take care of myself. I take full responsibility for my own joy and my own well-being and whatever's going on in my life. I take full responsibility. And it is a natural thing for me to be around beings, humans, animals, who are loving and good to me. To live in that vibration, the energy will attract, I will attract this into my life. So powerful. So, yeah, thank you, Lord, thank you, dear young man, for giving me this lesson, and to be able to work on this in my life. So, yeah, all the neediness, all the, it's really addiction to other people, addiction to an idea, a wish, the waiting, it all has to stop. We have to free ourselves and free others. And this is a time where this is, I mean, everything we cleanse away is helping this process, and this is really all that is important right now. There's nothing else that's important than this. And as the morning messages I watch, I've mentioned for you before, I might read that one today, maybe, yeah, another day. The morning messages was saying to notice any addictions we have to emotions. So we all have addiction. That was really an addiction to other humans, or to an idea of what I wanted. So yeah, we're cleansing it all away. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention was I've been getting some emails from and some comments from people who watch my videos about the estranged children, and I just want to touch on this, how and it can, yeah, deep in our hearts we have this desire for the unity and the harmony within a family. And when a family breaks apart, which mine has done really, completely broken apart, it feels wrong. It simply feels completely wrong. It's not, it feels like that's not right. It's not meant to be like that. We're meant to live in harmonious communities and have loving relationships that function well. So, but that's where we're going, and that's what's going to happen. We are going to be in these communities, but those groups we were in before, many of them had to break apart because they were not meant to stay united. Because they were learning ground. They were lessons for us in our process, and we all agreed before we came to Earth to go into these families that were very, very dysfunctional, so that we could do this last cleanse also. It is really to cleanse away all the madness and the sickness of humanity. So we chose these families which were not meant to, in many cases, not meant to survive or to go on in that construct. So, but what I want to say here is that we have this deep within us as humans that we want this harmonious family. And when one of the children or one in the family starts going against the unity and doesn't want to fit in and keep the harmony there, we hate, we don't like that person. It's like in the old villages in old time, you had all the people working together, and then you had this mad person who didn't fit in, and they just killed them. They just got rid of them, because you needed this unity really for survival on Earth. We needed this. But in the period we are now, the people who break free, and who do things differently are really the helpers of our time. So in a family, instead of not liking this person or feeling this person is making problems, we really should invite it, because they are bringing the new, really. Everything that was as it was is breaking apart, and some have the job to break it apart, to help it break apart. And those are the ones who really wish it all to stay harmonious and stay whole. The more we can rejoice in the fact that people are behaving strangely and doing weird things and breaking out of the family, the more we can invite that, the more this process is going to go much faster. So instead of seeing them as the black sheep, see them as the Christ. And really, as Christ said, I have not come to create peace. I've come to break everything apart. So that's what he actually said. Christ said, I've come to stir everything up. So, and with this deep wish of the harmony, instead of holding on to the old family or the old friends or the old everything as it was, the time now is just let it go. And as I was saying now, this process that I'm in, let it go with the deepest of joy. Find a way to use this imagery or whatever to really, really rejoice in the letting go. And rejoice in the people who are strange. Rejoice that they are weird. They do things differently than we used to do. Rejoice in this because they're bringers of change. And unity and togetherness and love and healthy communities will emerge after this cleanse has happened. So we who are meant to be together will find each other, and relationships will be cleansed. New relationships will arise, maybe with someone you have known before, where both have gone through the cleanse, or somebody new in your life. because we are meant to live in these healthy communities. That is what New Earth is all about. But the healthy community starts with ourselves. So when we release all that we need to release, and we come into this nearness, as I was mentioning in the beginning, come into this loveliness of who you are, get to enjoy the loveliness of who you are, get to enjoy your feelings, everything that is every aspect of you. Enjoy the nearness with you. All the healing happens naturally, and you will get to come into relationships where there's nearness with others and where there is peace and love. So having this deep desire for healthy group, healthy community is of course our true nature. Of course it is. So, but we know deep within that all this had to break apart, because this is the breaking down of the old structure, the old way of being human. So, healthy, loving communities are re-emerging, or are coming into manifestation. And the quicker we release every single tie we have to others, every single tie we have to our own false self, all the acting, all the pretending, the quicker we go through this process, the quicker these healthy, loving, warm, authentic, honest relationships will emerge. So coming back to which energy, to live as though everything that you wish for has happened, it's already here. That's the way we attract it. So live in a healthy community with yourself, and thrive in that. Although maybe you may be so-called lonely, you don't have contact with many people, you are creating the family with yourself. And that state of being, where everything is loving and warm and open and authentic, you have already created your new family with yourself. And by being in that high vibration, you will attract people who are already there too. So it's so fascinating. So be the life that you wish. Be it now. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'll finish now. And so wonderful how it's wonderful to be a disciple of life, to realize that we're all disciples of life. Just like being on the school bench, there's always more to learn, and this will continue into eternity. So, and knowing that every time we learn something, we already know it. We've just been blinded, because in our God essence, all is known. So, but we need to have these experiences on the physical plane for all this wisdom to be revealed. So it's I love learning. I love growing. It's you're like the healthy plant. It's just, you can see it. It's bursting with life. It loves to grow. It loves to shoot these buds out. One more bud, and it's just it's really this explosion of life. So it's a good way to be. So I send you all my love this Sunday, and I wish for you to first of all feel the peace, feel the love, invite to connect with the loveliness of who you are and come into the nearness with yourself. So take care, my friend, and yeah, all is well. See you next time. Bye.